G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on Cliffside with the brand new patch. Looking at some OG civilizations. We got the English, one of the best late game civilizations, up against the Holy Roman Empire, one of the best early Imperial Age civilizations. Let's get into it. Spawning on the east side of the map. In the color yellow, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. It is the kid. I don't know why we introduced him like that. I'm just feeling a little bit hype today. And, well, you know, we got to introduce people hype when we're hype. God, you kid, you are playing with fire right there, my friend. And on the west side of the map in the color teal, playing as the English, we've got... Anyhow, I don't know what we're going to call him, but we're just going to call him our Chinese friend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cliffside. How are you all doing? It's been a couple of days since I have posted. I'll be honest... I'll give you a bit of an update on where we're at, okay? Because there's two components to this, okay? Number one is Stormgate. I don't know if you guys have seen this game. New game on the block. Just got, well, I was going to say got released. Didn't get released. It's available on Steam at the moment. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check it out. As long as it's within... I don't actually know how long it's going to be available for, but there's like a demo on Steam at the moment for this big event that's going on called Steam... Next Fest, I think it's called. Anyway, I've been playing that game a lot. I've just posted my, actually, I've just posted my very first piece of content for it over on my second channel, so I'll leave a link in the description for that one as well, if you want to check it out. I've been having a lot of fun playing that over the last couple of days. But before that, a little bit of sad news, unfortunately. I had to go back to my hometown to attend a funeral. I've been very fortunate in my life, right? I'm 33 years old. And I've not had anybody close to me pass away. But that unfortunately changed earlier this year. I lost my pop. And he was a big part of my life. And it sucks. It really sucks losing him. But look, anyway, we just got to keep getting on and moving on. I think that's just the way it is, right? Like you gotta remember him, and you gotta appreciate the good times that you had, and then you just gotta keep on going. And that's essentially... That's where we're at the moment, all right? So we'll leave it there. But the good news is we're back in business, right? We're back here. We're playing Age of Empires 4, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But look, I'll let you guys know he was a lovely guy. You guys would have loved him. He was great. But anyway, let's get to it. We got the kid over here, over on the east side. Jeez Louise. Jeez, Drongo. Way to bloody ruin the mood there, Drongo. Well, sorry, I want to be honest with you guys, and I feel like that's important to give you that information because, well, you're not only here to watch the cast of games, right? Like, we're here to have a chat, and that's what we're doing. Anyway, we got oh my god, 11 villagers on your Ark and Chapel. The kid is up at 3 minutes. That's a new world record, ladies and gentlemen. The kid is aged up at 3 minutes on the dot. That is a new world record we have witnessed right now. 3 minutes on that age up time. I think maybe we've seen like juicy legacy players occasionally. Nah, it's never been faster than that, Drongo. Don't even try. Council Hall going to be coming up for our English player as well. 4 villagers on this one at the moment. Judging by the resources that he's got at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a mining camp thrown down on the stern outcropping. Now, this is a fun matchup. I actually do like this one quite a lot. Holy Roman Empire against the English, mainly because when the change to the English gave them crossbows at the council hall, that really changed the dynamic of this matchup. It basically went from a really hard matchup for the English to being a really easy matchup for the English, because it meant that you had a response if they tried to go men-at-arms, because you could simply just make crossbows out of your council hall, didn't have to throw down extra archery ranges, didn't have to go into the White Tower. And so I think that today, with that fast castle, you're going to expect to see our English player pretty comfortable with it. And the question for me is going to be about how long the kid plans to stay in the feudal age, because he's already adding in a stable and an archery range now. Normally, what we'd see is a very quick castle age. But the reality is, on a map like this, where you've got age ups coming through at 4 minutes and council halls not very far away from gold mines, you're unlikely to find that. So I think naturally the kid will have to be going for some sort of feudal play here. And we do indeed obviously see those buildings starting to come through. Now, when it comes to secondary gold mines, he does have a gold mine on the back, so expect him to look to try and utilize that here, because our English player almost certainly will begin to build up longbows and then throw an outpost down, maybe somewhere back here and then up a little bit further. But he will neutralize these two front positions. But at this stage of the game, it's just going to be a very simple opening coming through from our Chinese friend. Actually, I could also call him our English friend, because he's playing English. let's check in with the kid and see how he's doing. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with the kid, this guy, his real name is Voldemar. I used to have some numbers there, not anymore. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can go and watch him live over on Twitch, because he's streaming all the time. Young guy, really, really young. And look, I love to tell the good old story about the kid. Do you guys want to hear the story? Look at that outpost, there you go. Do you guys want to hear the story about the kid? All right, I'll tell you the story about the kid. This guy, all right, picture this, okay? He's 17 years old, right? 16 years old, maybe even 15. I don't know. When did Age of Empires 4 come out? Anyway, he's playing like team games with his friends, like best friends, probably like his friends from school. And he's having a good time, but at the end of the day, you know, they're not doing that well. And if there's one thing that you learn whenever you're trying to improve at a game, it's you got to get rid of the dead weight. If you're playing League of Legends, right, and you're trying to duo queue, and you got that one guy who wants to play jungle and he's just doing a terrible job, you got two bad teammates on your team. Then it's you and him. Reduce that down to one, and that's what the kid did. He got rid of the dead weight. He left his teammates behind, unfortunately, but he also left them behind on the rankings. Very quickly climbed from gold up to Conqueror, and then eventually got to Conqueror 3, and then very, very shortly after, took on Beastie Cutie, lost, but guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, he has beaten Beastie Cutie many a time now. The kid is on the way to the Walla Lolla, I'll say that much. But we'll watch and see exactly how he looks to play out this match, as it will be difficult for him. The question's going to be about whether he can get to Imperial Age or not. Once you're in Imperial, things are going to be feeling a lot better for you on the Holy Roman Empire. You'll have access to that Swabia, of course, the most powerful landmark, Imperial Age landmark in the game. Always feels really good, but have a look at this. It looks like we may have a second TC coming down. We can see our English friend is looking to try and defend this stone mine before those horsemen actually spot it out. And I think he will have done that. I don't think the line of sight was there, because the kid did lose that scout a little bit earlier. Ran through, so it means that the kid's not going to be in the know when it comes to this second town center. Now, fortunately for the kid, we do see that he's got this wonderfully positioned Archon Chapel. Only a couple of villages here on stone. I'm going to assume that this is most likely not for arrow slits. Okay, it is for arrow slits, but I was going to say for a spring-on emplacement. But it is going to be for arrow slits. That's what he's going to go with. I guess it's the very first outpost over the gold, so probably makes a little bit of sense. Let's check in with the relics. What has he discovered? So we know about the first relic. Does he know about the second one? Doesn't know about the second one. Knows about the third one down here. Doesn't know about the fourth one, and definitely doesn't know about this fifth one over here. So expect him to maybe look to train a scout with his stable. I think that's probably a good call. And then look to try and scout out the rest of that map. But the numbers so far are pretty good for him. He's built up a decent number. My only fear is this is quite a lot of units. Normally when we see the Holy Roman Empire do this little stop in the feudal age, it's only for a handful of units. But here we can see that the kid has pushed up 18 military population at the 8-minute mark. That is a lot of units here early on for him. But the reality is this second town center will be doing some work here for our English player, as long as the kid stays in feudal. If he moves to castle, then very quickly things may get out of hand. He's going to be really careful about how he reacts to it, because if you play 2 TC out of this position, you can look for that 3rd TC in the King's Palace, which will definitely help you out. But the reality is your opponent will probably be hitting Imperial right as you're hitting Castle Age. So something to keep in mind. As long as the relics get picked up here. One thing I'm noticing with the kid is he's not going into any extra prelates, even when he's got the spare gold for it right now. I would be tempted to right now queue or cancel these villages, get a prelate in queue, just because you want your prelates out on those relics immediately as you age up. So that the moment that you age up, just boom, 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 pick up those relics. So we'll have to wait and see whether he takes that approach or not. Still don't see any prelates in queue. Has enough resources to age up. Expect to see the... Oh my god, it's the Burgrave. Is it really the Burgrave, or is he just memeing? Why is he going for the Burgrave? I know that he's close to his opponent. Does he know about the second TC? There's no way he knows about the second TC. He's just kind of running past. He's coming into the gold now. We'll spot that second TC. This is actually perfect for him right now. All he needs to do is go into +2 ranged armor on the age up and just spam out men-at-arms. The main thing he's going to be up against here is going to be the town centers. But have a look at this. On the front line, the longbows will push. Oh no, this is terrible. The horsemen are out of position right as he's looking for the age up. Now the horsemen, unfortunately, are nowhere to be seen. Village is going to be forced out, and the age up is going to get cancelled, or at least held off for the moment. You can see underneath the outpost, these longbows still very happily. He's going to pick up a couple more villages here. And the kid, unfortunately, caught with his pants down, just going a little bit too aggressive. All he needed to do was put this Burgrave immediately next to the town center, but I think he was just fearful of getting all of that space. He could just cancel and then just rebuild on this top side, but he's got to wait for his horsemen to come around. Horsemen are coming around now. Beginning to move forward are these archers. Unfortunately, on the back side, we've got the spears that are ready to go. Down on the south side, scout v scout. Indeed, he did get another scout out, but now those villagers will move forward to look to try and get that Burgrave. He wants to make sure that in this position, he doesn't lose any more villagers. You can see there's quite a few that are low, and they're going to look to try and tee off towards these units over here, but he will clean them up. Massive mistake from the kid right there. And it's those little things, right, where he just isn't... He's not all there yet. You know, he might be Conqueror 3 plus, but he's not Conqueror 3 plus. Have a look how much time the English player has bought. He sacrificed all of his units. And I know that you might be thinking, Drongo, why did he sacrifice all of his units like that? You should have held them. He was close to aging up, all that good stuff. Look at the time that he's bought for himself right now. He is about to click that age up button. He's got gold in the bank as well, so it means that he can move straight into those crossbows and expect to see the White Tower. Now that the Burgrave has come out, expect to see a White Tower thrown down immediately. He's had so much time to react to this. +2 ranged armor will be coming through for the kid, but just once again, this is just a matter of the Burgrave being delayed just a slight little bit is going to have a huge effect on this game. Had he been 30 seconds slower, it would have been completely different. Had he been 30 seconds earlier, it would have been completely different, because if he was earlier, then the kid just would have put down the Burgrave probably in the back or at the top side, something like that. White Tower will be coming down here, and the White Tower is actually the complete counter to the Burgrave. And the reason why is because when you put a villager inside a town center, it gets 6 damage. But when it goes inside the White Tower, it gets 10 damage. That's a lot of extra damage, an extra 4 damage, and you might not think that really matters, but when you're talking about units that are heavily armored, like this man-at-arms with 6 armor, that can make a big difference. It's equivalent to 400% increase in damage. But have a look at this. Worker's going to be going down on this backside. It's difficult to see through the White Tower, but once it comes up, the rush will be cancelled. And with that, 17 villagers immediately enter into the White Tower, and watch as he one-shots these men-at-arms. There you go. Have a look at the damage that is done to those men-at-arms, like a shotgun firing off. Look at that damage. No chance does the Burgrave have against the White Tower. The ultimate in defensive technology has been realized here. Now, keep in mind, your town center, your secondary town center here. Wait, bow? Wait, did they... Hold on. There's no way they changed the bow damage. Oh my god. The devs keep changing things and they just don't tell you. Why does it say 8 bow damage? I swear it said 10 bow damage on that town center. Did you guys see that, or was it just me? So here you've got 12 bow, and then any of the extra... Oh my god, man. Here, look. No, okay, there we go. Okay, it says 6 bow times 4. That's correct. Okay, so you've got 6 damage coming out from each of these, but remember, up against 6 armor, that does 1 damage. Here, on the White Tower, you've got that 10, which means that instead of doing 1 damage, you're doing 4 damage. So that extra 4 times bonus that you're getting, which is pretty damn nice. And that is why the White Tower is just so damn good against this. So behind this, the kid has looked to pick up relics. He's on 2 relics at the moment. We'll ride on board with him as he's begun searching. He's going to be careful, though, as he begins searching, because he may run into Gaia, who is out here. Expect to see wolves, expect to see boars, expect to see... Well, to be honest, there's only sheep. Expect to see sheep. Indeed, expect to see sheep. But at this stage of the game, the kid has managed to retain some pretty decent map control. The reality is he's not going to be able to do too much here. And from this position, keep in mind, the English player is on 2 TC. Now, where that difference may find itself is in the event that the kid gets to Imperial Age. He needs to get up quickly. He's got enough units out right now that he can just kind of bide his time and just wait. I think maybe even going into a couple more horsemen could really work for him, just because the horsemen do counter the crossbows that naturally his opponent will want to make. But just looking to get to Imperial Age here is really, really key for the kid. So hopefully we see him begin to trend in that direction. We can see that he is indeed doing that now. We'll take a look at the resources per minute. About 100 food over him, 300 wood over the top, and then 300 gold under. So realistically, economy's pretty even at this stage of the game. If I was to be honest, I'd say that's probably an advantage for the kid at this stage. Just because naturally the English is going to trend towards that higher villager count, but You can expect once the Swabia comes online, things are going to be different. But now the Men-at-Arms going to be able to deny that Monk, able to look for that relic up towards the north. We can see he has run into some Gaia up here, but does manage to find that last relic. And now looking to pick up Sacred Sites on the south side. Kid still unaware of this relic at the very bottom. Let's take a look and see whether our English friend is aware of it. And indeed, he is aware. So he could look to try and snipe that one out, though. To be honest, it's pretty far away from him, but if it stays on the minimap, then he might just be clued into it. Sacred Site's going to start coming through now. Swabia about to be thrown down. Expect it to be thrown down on the back of this wood line here. You can also throw it down over here. Okay, he's going to go on the front of these two wood lines. Definitely a good position. A little bit far forward, but I think he should be fine on it. The key here, I think, is looking to get an outpost down and making sure that we've got the cannon emplacement inside. That's really important. And you want to make sure that you do that near the Swabia, just so that it does not fall down. You want to be looking for that fortification as well. And now on the south side, it looks like the relic will go down. So this is one of those things where you just were a little bit too greedy, and as a result, you got punished. He took the Sacred Site while holding the relic. And normally when I see that, that is something that I absolutely cringe at. But I said, the kid, he's got time here. I'm not too worried about him. I'm not too fussed. And unfortunately, he got punished. So very nicely done by the English player. We'll check in on that north side as the Imperial Age is now through. Men-at-Arms, is he throwing these away? Probably not the smartest idea here, especially with extra armor around the corner, as well as elite status. This is a lot of units that he's just throwing away right now into the meat grinder. We can see that the White Tower is just having a field day out here, just plowing away at the Men-at-Arms. And unfortunately, the Men-at-Arms just forced back. Crossbow numbers should be enough just to do it themselves. Now, the Swabia's online, and that means that it's only going to be a couple of minutes before the kid catches up to the English player and then very quickly surpasses him. The question is going to be about how the English player can look to capitalize on this position. So he manages to clean up these Men-at-Arms. This was a huge mistake from the kid. A massive throwaway for his Men-at-Arms, because realistically he wants to go into elite Men-at-Arms. Elite Men-at-Arms are good. You want that, because they're going to combo very well with things like your Mangonel, with your Culverin, etc. And unfortunately, when you throw them away like that, it just feels really bad. All right, upgrades are on the way through. We do see it is going to be a cannon emplacement, but one thing to note, he is spread a little bit thin here. Normally, you do see that Swabia towards those wood lines. Obviously, he's got it towards the wood line, but it's quite far away from everything. So I'd love to see another outpost thrown down, maybe near this, maybe near the Ark and Chapel, maybe even on the top side here, just to try and look to contain any potential attack like this, because you can see the outpost here. I mean, this is just a waste. This is just a waste of stone at this point, you know, fortifying this. I mean, you've got emergency repairs. Actually, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have emergency repairs, but he's got a relic in there. Oh, this is a massive. Oh, the kid. It's just these little things that are starting to creep up on the poor kid, unfortunately. You know, it's things like throwing away the Men-at-Arms, the horsemen on the backside of the base, not having the relics picked up immediately, being a little bit greedy on the south side. And look at this, it's going to be 3 relics potentially here for our English player over the Holy Roman Empire player, which is absolutely ludicrous. And it just comes down to those little things, right? Like greed, you know, not scouting the entire map, even though you're up against, even though you're playing the Holy Roman Empire. But it looks like, unfortunately for our English friend, this relic will indeed be safe. Expect another outpost to come up shortly towards this middle position. We do now start to see the emplacements on the way. You can see he's looking for it. There it is now. That's going to be the cannon emplacement through. He's got the relic inside. He's got another one down here on the south, so could look to try. He's running as fast as he can. Mangonel will come out. Villager might get caught. And the bombard or the cannon emplacement is more than enough to defend this position. It is so damn strong. You'd better believe there is... That right there is why Holy Roman Empire Imperial Age is so damn good. They've got so many things going for them, right? Like, we've got the Swabia that's printing out villages. Then you've got the cannon emplacement, and it's like, yeah, the cannon emplacement that also comes in at a cheaper price, and the emergency repairs rather, that make sure that that cannon emplacement is not going to be falling anytime soon. And now he's gotten into double siege workshop. The age of siege is upon us. Now, he can actually use this relic if he wanted to deny his opponent from actually getting in close to these mangonels. It's something that we did see quite a bit, but hand cannon is now going to be coming out, and wow, how aggressive is this Berkshire? This could be a problem. So he could use this Berkshire as basically a platform to push forward from. And the problem is, to respond to this Berkshire, you need to actually invest in trebuchets, and nobody has time for that. Sorry, that's not the correct phrase. Ain't nobody got time for that. That is the quote. That is, ain't nobody got time for that. You guys remember the song as well that they did? Mangoes. Mangoes. Does he spot it? Oh my god, he doesn't see it. The Mangoes off the top rope! All the villagers go down. He's only got a handful left. It's 8. The Mangoes, the second shot. Is he going to find it? Triple Mango on the front line. They miss everything, and now, unfortunately, this is where you need that Wallalol. 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 But unfortunately for the kid, I don't know what's in his head right now, but it definitely feels like it could be a bit of Wallalol, because unfortunately today, when he got out of bed, he woke up and half his brain was missing. Things are not going well. Double Treb now going to come out, ready to get eaten alive by the men-at-arms. Berkshire Palace still going up strong behind this. Treb's trying to make their way. Emergency repairs not yet needed, but the repairs on the Mangonel are definitely in a bit of emergency. Speaking of emergency, though, it looks like the counterweight Treb is unfortunately going to be going down again. He's lost the first one, second one, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Berkshire is online. Boy, oh boy, the kid is in trouble. 3 relics against 2. No Regnitz Cathedral, but he's got the he's got the Swabia in the back. He's up 16 workers now. He did take out quite a few workers underneath that Berkshire. Now, all 3 sacred sites have actually been captured by the English player, which is kind of wild considering the position that we're in. And thank you once again, Neutralize the Sacred Site, for telling us to neutralize the sacred site. Thanks. Treb still unloading towards the middle. Now, keep in mind the Berkshire Palace is overpowered when it comes to repairs, because most keeps need to be repaired with stone. But this keep right here, well, it needs to be repaired with wood. And wood is a very accessible resource for you as the English. There's plenty of it out on the map. So expect to see a couple of villagers brought forward here to help out with the repairs. Ideally, we would have had 3 villagers up here repairing this entire time. Whew, that is a lot of Trebs. Okay, don't mind me. You're going to need to pull at least 10 villagers right now if you want to keep this alive. I don't even think he wants to keep it alive. He is just... Wow, look at this. He's actually taking out the spears. He's sniping the spearmen out. There's not even any units inside the Berkshire Palace, and he's still able to snipe out the spears. But unfortunately, the Berkshire will go down. There's no villagers on the way, so don't even hold your breath. It's not happening. Towards that north side, elite upgrade still not yet through for the men-at-arms or the crossbows. A massive mistake right here coming out from the English player. But now villagers going to be forced inside that town center. Jumping inside. Hand Cannoneers going to be looking to run a little bit of assistance, but unfortunately got the Mangoes with them, making them a little bit slower. Still around that top side, more units coming through. And Hand Cannoneers now looking to push forward. They're going to absolutely melt this army. Mangonel's up the back as well. Trebs. There's just so much siege here, and you can see he's really struggling in this game, but still no repairs coming in on this Berkshire. More units running around the back. He's lost them, I think. Might need to throw down a wall. We can ride on board with the kid and see if we can work out what he's thinking. And you can see right now the enemy military is just snug between all of these villagers. Unfortunately, he's going to end up running into a wall. Villagers will go down. Everything's firing off. Mangoes together with the Culverin. He will spot out that Swabia. Swabia going to provide a little bit of cover fire. Remember, he's got emergency repairs in play, so there's no real risk of getting anything taken out here. I suspect he's probably just going to make his way down to the wall and look to try and siege it out. But slowly and steadily, our English army is reducing in size. Cannon emplacement helping out from that outpost, and unfortunately, it looks like he has reached the end of the line. The cracks in the offense are beginning to show. The Hand Cannoneers are lighting them up. In the center of the map, the Berkshire Palace remains in a bit of a questionable state here. And now at this stage, the kid really needs to start thinking about denying some of these sacred sites. We've got one in the middle that's yet to receive a strong position for it. Towards the top side, there are plenty of villagers. An outpost will be thrown up. And Knights moving towards that top side now. The kid rotating back towards the middle. A lot of siege here. A huge amount of siege, in fact. 68 military population against 48. He's got the villager lead. He's got the military lead. The kid is looking strong in this game, up against an English opponent without a Berkshire. Feels a little bit scary. The Mangoes looking, looming. Won't be able to find too much. Forced away. Hand Cannoneers coming out for both players. Remember that you're up against English hand cannoneers, the best hand cannoneers in the game, even better than the Chinese hand cannoneers. I tell you what, I would definitely take that extra attack speed over that extra range. The pyrotech, oh, that's a paddling right there. Ladies and gentlemen, why is that a paddling? That is a paddling because those knights, they don't care that you wall to your house because they just go straight through it. That is a paddling right there. Anyway, in the middle of the map, the kid continues to push forward. He's maxed out 200 population. Expect to see plenty of production beginning to come down for the kid. As you approach that, or once you've reached that 200 population, that is when that production becomes really important. Looking to try and get as much of it as you can. Mango Shot forces down that outpost. There's not going to be any special bonuses here today. And now, 67 military up against 65. A little bit of knights on the back. Villager count going to start to dwindle here. Spearmen together. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode, ladies and gentlemen. From behind. Oh, he's been absolutely swooped upon. He didn't realize there was so many men-at-arms. He's got nowhere to go. The Mangonels trying to fight their way through it, but unfortunately, the men-at-arms have got so much bloody health that the Trebs just on the front line, just whittling their thumbs, twiddling their thumbs, and the men-at-arms clean everything up. It is an absolute fiesta on the front lines. And that's going to be it. The kid taps out. He taps out the men-at-arm flank. Nobody expects the English men-at-arm flank from the side. Guys, go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description. It's not often we see him play, but when we do, it is an exciting time. Thank you so much, the kid, for the game. We'll catch you guys in the next one.